Hello everyone, Darko 2012 here with Global Government News, covering all the breaking news on your enslavement, our receivership into modern feudalism. And here we go, Time Magazine, who just recently had the terrorist Ben Bernanke as Person of the Year, um, posted an article today, just a little while ago, and it talks about a JFK terminal evacuated after a security breach. New York officials are evacuating a terminal at John F. Kennedy International Airport, New York City, because of a security breach. Port of Authority of New York and New Jersey spokesman Steve Coleman says travelers at Kennedy Terminal 8 are being asked to leave and will be rescreened. Coleman did not describe the breach. A man was charged last week with breaching security at Newark Liberty International Airport, New Jersey on January 3rd. Flights were grounded for hours and passengers were rescreened while air safety officials searched for him. And I'm going to go and I'm going to link to a story here covered on InfoWars, which actually describes and shows that the TSA agent saw this person, this New Jersey and Newark, that whole kind of quote security breach that was run through the mass media as a legitimate breach of security. It was a person that was actually going the wrong way, and they wanted to turn back, and it was basically blown out of proportion. And I'm going to show the video there. But this is a new one. This new one where JFK a security breach, and so this is just more conditioning, and this is what it is, and this is why I'm covering it, because this is exactly what I talk about in most of my videos in regards to airport security being used as an apparatus, as a pretense for moving this type of security out into the public even more, like near schools, in malls, at sports games or sports events. So this is conditioning people when you see this, and they're constantly doing this where they're grounding flights, they're stopping flights. Our economy is dead, and the airline industry has always been kind of dying, but stays alive somehow. And this is not good for airlines, what they're doing. They keep screwing with them with these fake threats just so they can ramp up fear and get terrorism in the minds of Americans. Because as I've said in recent videos, 2010 is the year of false flag terrorism. So this is what our lovely government, our big brother, is doing. They're conditioning us. They're getting us prepared for another possible 9/11, if not of that magnitude, a similar false flag attempt or a terrorist attack. So I'm going to link to the fake security breach that they ramped up in Newark. Okay, so this actually makes my case even more. All right. Goodbye kiss provoked Newark airport scare report. And of course, I love Prison Planet because they actually, for the most part, they'll tell stories. They'll cut through all the disinfo, all the propaganda crap, and they'll just tell you what it was. It says Reuters, but they get to title it themselves, and this is what it was. Newark Airport, and just mind you, this is right after the notorious Christmas Day underwear bomber. But Newark Airport, for hours, and delayed thousands of passengers, was caused by a man who slipped into a secure area to give a woman one last goodbye kiss, a newspaper reported on Thursday. The breach at Newark Liberty International Airport, one of three major airports serving the New York City area, rattled security officials and the airline industry because it came so soon after the attempted false flag, government-sponsored, CIA-sponsored Christmas Day bombing of a Detroit-bound airliner. because Al Qaeda, they're just, they can mastermind getting a 747, three planes, and being able to crash them into strategic locations, getting over U.S. airspace, one of the most sophisticated nations in the world. But hey, when it comes, to this, hey, they couldn't even get a small explosive that they had to sneak it in their underpants, and they couldn't even do that. So it just, I'm kind of confused. I mean, what Al Qaeda are we talking about? Are we talking about ones that can take out buildings and stuff like that, and be trained inside the United States and be funded by the Bush family? I mean, are we talking about those type people? Or are we talking about terrorists that can't do anything on their own without government help? Sorry, that was my little rant, but a videotape of the Newark incident shows the man embracing a woman at the C1 security checkpoint before she passes through passenger screening, the Star-Ledger newspaper of New York said, citing unnamed security officials who have viewed the tape. The man was not a passenger. He walks past a spot where a TSA officer should have been stationed to move closer to the woman, the paper said. The woman holds up a rope meant to keep unscreened people out of the secure area so that the man could pass underneath, and they walk hand in hand towards the boarding area before disappearing from view, the paper reported. So, yeah, that's basically what it was. I don't even think the people were really aware, of the whole underwear bomber and its implications. Uh, because if he had, I don't think he would have even attempted something like that. But, of course, then there's another story. And this, of course, is a third incident that happened right after the Christmas Day bomber. Bathroom visits now considered potential terrorism. An ill man on a plane prompts joint terrorism task force investigation as suffocating security implemented on the back of staged syringe bombing attempt. Um, it says another Nigerian man who became ill and was forced to spend a considerable amount of time in the toilet became the focal point of another terrorist scare yesterday after pilots aboard Delta 253, the same plane involved in last week's incident, requested emergency assistance upon landing. The Joint Terrorism Task Force and Homeland Security descended to investigate the crisis, and President Obama was even informed of the deadly security threat prompted by the man having diarrhea. After hours of media frothing about a second terrorist incident, the truth finally emerged. A passenger on today's Northwest Flight 253 from Amsterdam to Detroit spent an unusually long time in the aircraft lavatory, Homeland Security Press said. The passenger in question was a Nigerian national, was removed from the flight and interviewed by the FBI. So there you go, for saying it. And then, of course, after that, it was you couldn't. Oh, this was right after they said that you can't go to the bathroom the last hour of the flight. You can't get up and go to the bathroom. This guy violated that. That's why they really did it. And of course, he was Nigerian, so that's another reason. But that's profiling, and that's gonna be, that's kind of a given. But there you go. There's just some stuff there that kind of documents a little bit of a timeline here as we going into this new year of false flag terrorism, as Gerald Celente likes to put it. He's a trends forecaster, and he predicts that this year will be the year of false flag terrorism, especially in the spring. He says look for the spring when the economy will really start to the real economy, right? The real unemployment. When they need more stimulus, right, to keep this cracked, broken, corporatist, fascist system operating, right? They'll have to create some kind of diversion or distraction. And so that's why I believe that's a good chance. And just based off what I've seen so far at the end of last year and going into this year, it's all about the terrorism. So just be ready and keep your eyes open at home, because whenever they start ramping up terrorism, most of your liberties are taken away here at home. So thanks for checking these articles out, and I'll post all the links for them. Thanks.